Welcome to the all-new variant. As you guys know, we launched a new logo and look yesterday, and the response has been great, which makes us very happy because we love the logo as well. Anyway, Spider-Man Homecoming. It's out in theaters, and I saw it. So of course, I gotta give you guys my thoughts. And just so you know, this is gonna be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, guess what? That was your spoiler warning. Jumping right in, of course I love this movie. In my opinion, there's not much to not love about this movie. It's hands down the best Spider-Man movie thus far. I do realize that Spider-Man 2 and the first Spider-Man movie by Raimi is still held near and dear to many fans' hearts. They definitely are to me. I grew up on those movies. But put aside the nostalgia, Homecoming is leaps and bounds better in my opinion. The movie did such a good job with Spider-Man's character development. Like, this is very much a Spider-Man who's not good at being Spider-Man yet, and learning how to be a hero throughout the movie. Don't get me wrong, all he wants to do is help people from the very start, but the movie is about him figuring out how to be good at being a superhero, and it's hilarious because he's messing up more often than not. And even when he does save the day, it's not without some sort of goof or collateral damage. This Spider-Man is probably the most comic accurate Spider-Man ever. First of all, he's a young teenager like he's supposed to be, which for some reason other movies just couldn't get right. Second, he just has Spider-Man's personality down perfect. He literally can't keep his mouth shut while fighting bad guys and cracks jokes, and that is one of the main reasons we all love Spider-Man so much. His whole character arc in the movie was great. He just really wanted to be an official member of the Avengers, and obviously by the end of the movie, he proved himself worthy. Then when Tony offered him an official spot on the team and even to live at Avengers Mansion and get an awesome new suit, he turned down everything, saying he just wanted to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Which again, being the big Spider-Man fan that I am, I thought was brilliant. It just brought his whole arc in the movie full circle. Also, that Spider-Man suit he offered Peter at the end was freaking awesome. Although I did wish it was the Iron Spider suit. Now that would have been amazing, but at the same time, for all we know, this could be the MCU version of that suit, which is why it looked different. Speaking of suits, this costume was awesome. Not only is it my favorite live-action Spider-Man suit, the idea of Tony putting in a training wheels protocol for Peter to eventually unlock all these different things the suit can do was awesome. Not only did it make for great comedic relief, it just explains to the audience, oh, that's how Spider-Man can shoot his webs like that. Or, that's where those web wings came from. Also, I just really liked how this movie was about Spider-Man finding himself and not just another origin story. Because let's face it, everyone and their mother knows Spider-Man's origin story by now. But going backwards a bit, can I just say how brilliant of an idea it was to show that Peter vlogged his experience during Civil War? First of all, it was hilarious, but second, it was just super clever on Marvel's part to show Peter's point of view during the Civil War event. Also, Peter's relationship with Happy Hogan was another one of my favorite parts of the movie. Jon Favreau is comedic gold. Speaking of relationship, the whole father-son thing with Tony Stark and Peter added such a great dynamic to the movie. And it's another thing that stays pretty true to the comics because during the first Civil War event in the comics, that's kind of sort of how it went down where Iron Man took Spider-Man under his wing. Now, there's no way I could do this review and not mention Michael Keaton's performance. He was the perfect Vulture. His motivation was great, his suit and wings were awesome, and his acting was insane. That scene where he's in the car with Peter and he's threatening him, one of the best pure acting scenes in the MCU in my opinion. Which makes sense because, well, he's Batman. Come on, I had to do that. Now before I wrap up my thoughts, I have to tell you guys about a few of my favorite Easter eggs in the movie. The first one is that they introduced a Tinkerer. You guys know Phineas Mason, that guy who made all the Vulture weapons? Yeah, that's the Tinkerer. Also, freaking Damage Control is in this movie. Who would have thunk? For those of you who don't know, in Marvel Comics, Damage Control is an engineering and construction company that specializes in repairing property damage caused by superheroes and supervillains. And they reference them several times in this movie, which is really cool and I didn't expect at all. Mac Gargan is also in this movie, aka Scorpion, aka Venom, aka it's awesome that he exists in the MCU. He's played by Michael Mondo, who is a great pick. He's also fantastic on Better Call Saul. Then probably the coolest Easter egg I thought was Donald Glover, who played Aaron Davis, who eventually becomes the Prowler. But it gets better than that, my friends. In the movie, he mentions he has a nephew. Why does that matter, you ask? Because his nephew is most likely Miles Morales. In the Ultimate Comics, Aaron Davis is the uncle of Miles Morales. Now, I know we're getting a Miles Morales animated movie, which funny enough, Donald Glover is voicing him in, but does this mean we're gonna see Miles Morales in Phase 4? Man, do I hope so. Then there was the awesome homage to Spider-Man issue 33 where Spider-Man was stuck under the rubble, but he pushes through and frees himself. And that part where Spider-Man freed himself from the rubble that the Vulture dropped on him, yeah, that was a direct homage to Spider-Man 33. Which freaking had my spider sense tingling because as you guys know, as I said in the Spider-Man Strongest Moments episode, that is easily one of the most iconic Spider-Man moments ever, as well as one of the best examples of Peter's sheer determination and willpower. So it was so awesome that they tipped their hat to that moment. And lastly, that moment at the end end of the movie where Michelle, played by Zendaya, says her friends call her MJ, might have everyone being like, I knew she was Mary Jane. But guess what? You'd be wrong. President of Marvel Studios Kevin Feige was quoted saying, in setting up, this will be a very different thing. She's not Mary Jane Watson. That's not who the character is. But giving her the initials that remind you of that dynamic certainly is intriguing about what could go forward. So that right there should lay to rest any more Zendaya Mary Jane rumors. In summary, I really enjoyed the movie. I think it's the best Spider-Man movie yet. The entire cast was good from front to back. Like Spider-Man, of course, Tom Holland was literally made to play that role. Ned, his best friend, Aunt May, Vulture, just everyone. I'd give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. It is definitely in my top 3 favorite MCU movies.